David, are you there?
Hey,
I'm going to go ahead and start the broadcast. Um, I put on here this front slide that will start at 12:05 p.m. Just to give everybody a chance to get on, okay?
definitely. Sounds good.
But I'm gonna start the broadcast, so since we have people who are coming in.
All right, sounds good.
Good afternoon, AIMHO region. My name is Jeff Rosenberry. I serve as the president of the Association of Intermountain Housing Officers. Welcome to today's webinar, AIMHO Conference 101. We will begin the webinar at 12:05 p.m. to allow people an opportunity to successfully log in. For those of you who are early, thank you for being early. All participants today are currently muted. If you do have a question that you would like to ask throughout the conference today, you can utilize the chat window located on your menu bar, and we will answer those questions as they come in. Good afternoon, webinar participants. My name is Jeff Rosenberry, and I serve as the president of the Association of Intermountain Housing Officers. And welcome to today's webinar, AIMHO Conference 101. Thank you to those who have arrived at the 12 o'clock hour. We will begin the webinar promptly at 12:05 in an effort to give those individuals still logging in time to do so. Participants on the webinar today are currently muted. However, if you do have a question, you may utilize the chat box feature on your screen, and we will answer those questions as they come in throughout the webinar. Thank you for your patience, and we'll get started in 4 minutes. If you're just joining us, the webinar will begin at 12:05 p.m. Good afternoon, AIMHO region, and welcome to today's webinar, AIMHO Conference 101. Appreciate you joining us today. We'll spend the next 50 minutes or so providing you with some content information in regards to the conference. Whether this is your first time attending a conference or you're a seasoned professional, we do have some great additions to this year's conference, and we look forward to sharing those with you today. Today's webinar is being recorded and will later be placed on the AIMHO YouTube channel, which can be accessed from the webpage aimho.org. All participants are muted during today's webinar. However, if you do have any questions, you can utilize the chat option on your screen, and we will answer those questions as they come up. My name is
And
Jeff Rosenberry, and I serve as the president of the Association of Intermountain Housing Officers. I reside at Montana State University Billings and serve as the Associate Dean of Students. My email address is listed there, as well as my personal and the AIMHO president's Twitter.
and I'm David Adderholt. I work at Montana State University in Bozeman. I'm your member at large entry level. I'm our coordinator of academic initiatives and diversity at Montana State University, and as well as a resident director. You can see my email and my Twitter account there. I will have to leave at about 45 minutes into the hour to go do an additional training, but I'm glad to answer any questions you have as we go.
Thank you, David, and thank you everyone for being on today's call, and it's an opportunity to learn more about the upcoming conference. Now, as you know, and I'm sure that your flights reflect this, the conference is scheduled for November 6th through the 8th. We do have two pre-conference institutes that you may be a part of. The first is AIMHO College, which is a pre-conference institute designed for new or entry-level position, as well as graduate or undergraduate students within the field. The second pre-conference institute is the Senior Housing Officer or Aspiring Senior Housing Officer Institute, and it is designed for more broad conversation and in-depth dialogue with a smaller cohort of professionals within the association. Both the AIMHO College and Senior Housing Officer Institute take place a day or two prior to the actual conference beginning. We will be descending on Westminster, Colorado, at the Westin in Westminster, the hotel there on the lower right-hand portion of your screen. And of course, this year's conference hosted by the University of Colorado, Boulder. This year's theme is Shifting Perspectives. And as we come together as an association, I'm sure there are many opportunities for us to shift perspectives throughout the year, specifically at this conference. We'll be shifting perspectives by encouraging you to attend program sessions, encouraging you to network, and get connected with other professionals and colleagues and friends within the field, and expanding your mind and thought on different areas that really impact housing and residential life within the AIMHO region. Hopefully, we're getting tools for our toolbox then that we can take back to our campuses and implement for student success on our own campuses.
If this is your first AIMHO conference and you did not take advantage of AIMHO College this year, I would definitely encourage, if you feel that it would be beneficial to you as an entry-level member of our organization, to consider it in the future. I did it in my second year of being a resident director after attending my first annual conference, and I still found an amazing amount of information that was very relevant to myself as I developed.
Thanks, David.
So there are two events that really start off the conference every year, and that is our Newcomers Reception and AIMHO Connections. Our Newcomers Reception is going to be held on Sunday, November 6th from 4:30 to 5:15 in Meadowbrook 1. This is really an orientation to what the region means. What are some of the traditions that you'll see at the conference? What are some things we do at our conferences and throughout the year that might be a little bit different, but also a way to show how we are similar to other organizations. It talks a lot about where our institutions come from, where they fall geographically, as well as how big school sizes are. And it's just a great opportunity to start meeting people the moment you step into AIMHO at the annual conference. The second thing we have going on immediately after the Newcomers Reception is Connections. That's from 5:15 to 6 p.m. in Meadowbrook 2. If you didn't sign up for this, I would still encourage you to go. Whether you're seasoned at AIMHO or if this is your first year, second year, I've gone every year in the past 5 years or 4 years, and it's just a way to meet people. So with that, what it is it really just pairs people who have been in the region with people who haven't been, or people who are new to the profession with people who have been in the profession for a while now, and gives them an opportunity to ask questions in an open environment before really the conference gets rolling before the opening reception. And so There is some guided discussion there if people just don't feel confident asking questions on their own. You'll be put into groups of 5 to 10 people. From year to year, it's changed. And so just recognize that it's really an open environment to do that. Um, Really, am I missing anything on there, Jeff? Do you see?
Nope,
Oh,
that's perfect.
some of the things we do though, to think about now is you're going to want to attend those programs. Because we do now have a summit program incentive. Akui has done this, but what we do is if you attend a majority of the programs at the conference, you'll be entered to win gift cards and prizes, so that as a way to show that you participated throughout the time that you were here. Also is AIMHO Star Award, which is an award given out for people who do certain things at the conference throughout the time that they're there.
Yeah, David, that's excellent. And the AIMHO Star Award is really an opportunity for you to kind of check some boxes and get connected with a variety of components at the conference that we really feel are valuable. Things like attending the corporate partner fair that we'll talk about, meeting certain individuals, attending programs, a business meeting, and various aspects that we'll talk about within the webinar here as we continue. And it's just a great way for you to really make intentional time with your conference experience and really get the most out of that overall conference attendance. I'm going to take a couple of minutes and just talk a little bit about the regional culture within AIMHO. Some of you have probably attended a variety of conferences, or maybe this is your first time attending a conference and you're not exactly sure what to expect out of the Association of Intermountain Housing Officers. And really, as you saw the logo at the first part of the webinar, a common theme that I've had for our executive and leadership team and all the members within the association this year is that we are limitless, we are AIMHO. And really this speaks to that concept of shifting perspectives, that we want you to come into the conference and we want you to get the most out of that experience by introducing yourself and networking. The association itself is one of the most inviting organizations that I have ever had the privilege of being a part of. And with only 7 years being part of the AIMHO region, I can tell you that I have felt at home since day one, attending that first conference in Fort Collins in 2009. Howdy folks, and just that opportunity to say hi and meet new people and put yourself out there, that's really what this conference is about. You will find great value in the program attendance, and we want your voice to be heard in the business meeting. But a large majority of the conference experience will come from you stepping up and being the first to introduce yourself to people. And whether that's you being a first-time conference attendee or a seasoned professional within the field or the association, we all play critical roles and we all bring our experiences to the table, and that's all valued. And so we really want to make sure that you feel, that you know that as part of our culture, we want you to put yourself out there and be the first to say hello to people, shake hands, and you'll notice on name tags that there are no titles on name tags because titles are not important at this conference. What's important is that we're able to come together as an association and do our best work by learning from each other. Bring those business cards as an opportunity for you to keep in contact with people after the conference. And really the association is about the friendships that we create. You know, a lot of associations across the country will say when you go to a conference like this that you're developing networking with colleagues. But within AIMHO, we look at it as you're developing your network of friends and people that you can call and communicate with throughout the year. A little bit about conference dress. If you have not already started packing yet, really you need to dress in what makes you feel comfortable. Conference rooms, as we know, can get a little chilly, so maybe bring a light jacket or a sweater to wear while you're in the hotel conference rooms and those meeting spaces. And support your institution, whether that be a sweater or a polo or a scarf or a button-down, whatever that is that has your institution's logo on it. We just want you to know that you don't have to have a dress code at AIMHO. Suits are fine, but they're not expected. And that formal attire, it might be nice at closing banquet, but really this is a conference for you to be as comfortable as you can be as far as conference dress and just being approachable and approaching other individuals throughout the conference.
As we move into the next slide, there was a question on the previous slide about the newcomers reception. The newcomers reception is an open session. You don't need to sign up to go to it. And so if you just show up just prior to when the start time is, find a seat. We'll get moving in the right direction from there. Thank you, Chelsea, for asking that question on the last slide. So one thing we do utilize in a sustainability effort, but also a way to keep people up to date with the most current information, is that we utilize Guidebook. And so if you go to your app store, whether that be on iPhones or Androids, and search for Guidebook, it's an application that's used through conference planning and conference updates. And so you'll see a lot of different things on there, like the conference schedule, conference maps sometimes get put up there. But also importantly are conference attendees and their information. So keep your information up to date within Guidebook. If you go into Guidebook and search for AIMHO 2016, you'll be able to find our conference on there already. And it will be up to date by the time the conference starts, and continual updates will happen as maybe rooms change or programs might need to be canceled or new programs we put in their place. Those are all things I've seen utilized through Guidebook.
Yeah, we really encourage you to make the most out of the conference experience by downloading the Guidebook and the app and the specific guide for the conference, because there will not be printed versions of the conference schedule. And this is, as David talked about, really goes back to one of our core values, which is to be as sustainable as possible as a region. There's kind of some nuts and bolts related to the conference, some little conference nuggets that we wanted to talk to you a little bit about today and make sure that you had on your radar, because every conference is a little bit different, and we want you to understand what kind of the expectations are for the AIMHO conference, specifically with meals. We do a lot of business during meals, and it's a lot of recognition, so it's important to actually be at meals at the start of the mealtime, because we want you to be able to help us recognize individuals and support those who are being recognized, and there are critical announcements that take place at those meals. So please don't think that meals are something that should be optional. You really should be there or be square. David talked a little bit about the Summit Incentive Program. This is an incentive program that allows you to get entered in to win prizes based on your attendance at programs. So attending programs is something that we want to encourage everyone to do all the time, but we've incentivized it a little bit, and when you attend those programs and complete that card, you get entered in to win a chance to get some cool prizes. The business meeting is something that is really special in our association. It's an opportunity for everyone, whether you are the voting delegate on your campus or a first-time conference attendee, to really get a look at the business associated with AIMHO. This is everything from passing the budget for the upcoming year, reports from committees and officers, as well as this year, the election of our officers moving forward. We have two elected positions that will be voted on at the business meeting. That's President-elect and the senior member at large. And those are contested races this year, so we have two individuals for each one of those positions that will be voted on at the business meeting. We also will be taking a look at conference host sites for future AIMHO and RAPIN conferences, and so it's really important that everyone is a part of the business meeting and everyone's voice is heard. We have moved the business meeting this year to a different time, and it is scheduled right after lunch on Monday, November 7th from 1:35 to 2:40 p.m. So we invite you to come in, have lunch, and be ready to have that say in your association. And again, every one of you has a voice, and every one of you has an opportunity to speak on the things that are being discussed at the business meeting. So we really hope that you take advantage of that opportunity to see how the association works from a business side, because it really is valuable to how we progress and move forward as an association. You'll see something on the schedule Monday evening starting at 5 o'clock. This is November 7th. It's called Night on the Town. And what this is that the conference host committee has set up opportunities for you to go to various restaurants within Boulder and the surrounding area of the hotel for you to get with your colleagues and sign up to go have an awesome meal. Hopefully you're also taking an opportunity. Maybe you've met new individuals at the conference or before the conference, and you want to connect with them and have a nice meal together. Night on the Town is something that is paid for by the attendee. So the conference does not supplement your meal. However, what they do is provide you that opportunity to sign up to go to these awesome, amazing restaurants in Boulder, and you can sign up to go with other individuals. Transportation is provided in those cases, and it's just that great opportunity to break bread and come together with colleagues and new friends that you've created at the conference. And then a little bit about conference cash. There are some opportunities for you to spend money at the conference, and we want to make sure that you know about that so that you can come prepared to the conference. One is that if you are over the age of 21, we have a cash bar at the opening and closing of the conference at those receptions. So those cash bars are available. Of course, we do have non-alcoholic beverages as well, sodas, waters, etc., that will be available too. One of the other areas that you are able to spend money at the conference is through our silent auction through the AIMHO Foundation. AIMHO is the international organization of which AIMHO is supported and supports, and the foundation raises money on an annual basis to give back to the regions and to AIMHO members in the form of scholarships and opportunities to present at conferences and a wide range of areas of support. AIMHO has an AIMHO Foundation representative, Paula Bland, from University of Colorado Boulder, and she has been working diligently to create opportunities for you to bid on silent auction items. They range in a big variety of things that you can purchase while you're there and take those home with you. So if that's something that interests you and you want to see what's available at the silent auction, you may want to have some funds available for you to bring with you to the conference. And then, of course, Night on the Town, again, that is a meal that you pay for on your own that is coordinated by the conference host committee. David, did you have anything else to add there?
The only other thing I can think of is the raffle, the Kauai raffle that happens. In addition to sound auction, we hand out raffle tickets for cash that are raffled off for certain prizes throughout the conference.
And those prizes are amazing gift cards that have been donated by corporate partners and other folks. So yeah, that is a great reminder that maybe you don't want to buy something as elaborate or place a bid on a silent auction item, but you can certainly give back to the AIMHO Foundation by purchasing those raffle tickets. That money in turn goes for opportunities, for funding opportunities for members within our region and across the country who are seeking additional support in their journey through housing and residential life.
So this year we're actually going to be doing something new. We started something called Appreciative Inquiry starting a little after the summer. Where we put together a team that's going to start evaluating AIMHO as an organization. And part of this process is that we need to interview people within the organization. So this year at the annual conference, we're going to be conducting individual interviews. Um, and those will be held in the main lobby of the hotel, unless we can find another spot at this point. Um, the big thing is that please take the time to volunteer to do this if you have the time. Um, a large part of this assessment plan is driven by these interviews to hear what the people have to say, the members have to say about the organization. Um, and so that we can start focusing on different areas of our organization to make it even better, which is something we always try to do, but this is just a process that's going to help us do that.
Yeah, it's great, David, and you're absolutely right in encouraging everyone to, if you have the time available in these times that are listed, these times will also be in Guidebook, so you'll be able to see those throughout the conference. But that interview process is really important, and it's really important too, no matter what place you're coming into the AIMHO Association. Again, if you're a first-time conference attendee, if this is the first housing conference that you've ever been to, these interviews are still going to be great for you and great for us to elicit feedback from you. So again, first-time conference attendee up to seasoned housing professional, it doesn't matter. We want you to take a little bit of time and chat with us. We want to hear from you, and that is going to help drive that strategic plan as AIMHO looks forward to the future and how we will continue to grow as an association. The
So
diversity and go ahead, David.
this is yeah. So the Diversity Social Justice Committee has started something called the I Am AIMHO pin. And it's just a way to share a phrase or show pride in your own identity that you can write in on these buttons. So um, I am a husband might be a part of my identity that I would share on this pin, or I am a housing officer that could share what I'm proud of and how these buttons encapsulate who I am as a person and how it helps me be a better housing officer. This is something we are going to add some hashtags for. So there are 2 hashtags: do the work, # do the work, and AIMHO together, to pull those 2 together on Twitter. Did you have more on that, Jeff?
I don't. You explained that really well, and we hope that everyone stops by the Diversity and Social Justice Committee table, which will be in the conference lobby. Grab your button, put that piece of your identity on there, and really that concept that while we all share various components of identity and self-identity, that we come together as a region and work together to make AIMHO the best that we possibly can. One of the other initiatives that will be different this year and new and exciting for us from the Diversity and Social Justice Committee is the development of what are called affinity groups. And this, again, is brand new, that we're looking to really get people involved and gather individuals with similar identities to kind of come together and learn and share and connect, maybe talk through struggles that they identify with and successes within their experience in student affairs and housing and residential life. Really in an effort to continue to find ways to build community within specific identity groups at the AIMHO conference. So this year there are 2 groups with the hopes of figuring out how we can get even more affinity groups identified in the future. And the 2 affinity group meetings are listed here. These will also be in Guidebook for you, but we have an affinity group for people of color and an LGBTQ+ affinity group. Both of those will be meeting at 9:30 on Sunday, November 6th. One in the library, one in the Meadowbrook room. And again, just this really safe place for individuals who identify and hold the specific identities that are listed here in these 2 initial groups. And then will, as an association, be evaluating this, and hopefully we get some great responses that we can continue to develop the affinity groups within the region as we look to conferences and out-of-conference opportunities in the future.
So the corporate partner fair is something we do every year. Our corporate partners are a big part of AIMHO. We have amazing relationships built out of these partnerships that have lasted for years and years and years. I've met, just in the last 4 years, I continue to meet the same people who I see at different conferences. I mean, I saw someone at ACPA I met at AIMHO, and we had a great conversation from there. Corporate partners also play a very large part in helping keep our costs low at our conferences. So they actually sponsor the AIMHO conference quite a bit. They'll attend events, just like it's important that you attend the corporate partner fair. This is a great chance for you to ask questions about products. It's a great question or a great time to start building some of those relationships and networking. And it's also important for new people to the region and to the profession, people first year, graduate assistants, resident directors who have never done this before, to start building some of those relationships. Corporate partners want to talk to new housing professionals just as much as they want to talk to the shows. And so that's something to think about. Bring your business card, drop them off in their bowls, talk to them, trade business cards, and start asking names and asking questions about products. We also have the Corporate Partner Fair and Lunch, which is another opportunity to network. We encourage you to sit down at a table. The tables will have different partners, different corporations at them. And so please sit down, have a meal with them, talk to them about your experience at AIMHO and your experience as a housing officer. Throughout the Corporate Partner Lunch, there is going to be drawings for prizes and additional announcements that are made. And so that is from Tuesday, November 8th from 11 to 12 p.m., which is the Corporate Partner Fair, followed by lunch, followed by an additional chance to go and check out some of these products.
Awesome. Thanks, David. Yeah, and you couldn't be more right. And I think that's really important for first-time conference attendees to know, is that you might be saying to yourself, well, I'm not the one who is on my campus making a decision about what kind of bed to get, or a micro chill, or a linen program, or anything like that. And that doesn't matter. Those relationships with our corporate partners, is what's most important. So really, stop by, introduce yourself, and bring those business cards for opportunities to win fun prizes and drawings at the lunch. AIMHO is going to be on social media, as we always are throughout the conference. You can check out the webpage if you haven't. If you're a first-time conference attendee and you haven't visited the webpage, you can get a lot of information before the conference by visiting aimho.org. We are on Facebook as well as Twitter with the regional account at AIMHO. We will be using the hashtag AIMHO at the conference as well. And then as the AIMHO president, I have the privilege of having an account on Twitter as well, and you're welcome to tweet me on there. And then as we kind of take some time and wrap up, we're getting to a place where your questions, you can jot your questions down and we can answer those. But I really just want to encourage everyone to understand that you really have a lot of what are called 1-second opportunities at a conference. This is the the elevator ride up and down, walking to a session, holding the door open for someone, keeping your head up, and while yes, we value social media, but putting that phone down and putting a smile on your face and just walking up and introducing yourself to someone. I know that it can be intimidating to go to a conference, especially as a first-time conference attendee. Maybe you're new to the association. Maybe you're still new to your own institution. But I can assure you that No one is not going to take the time if you introduce themselves, if you introduce yourself and have that conversation with you, because every person who's at the conference matters. Every person who's a part of our association matters. And we want to have those conversations with you about your experience in higher education, in housing and residential life, and more importantly, just getting to know you and who you are and how our association can best support you during your personal and professional development. So take those 1-second opportunities and really be engaged throughout the conference. There's nothing on the agenda, there's nothing on the program that says invite only, that you can't go to it. And so with that being said, the world is your oyster, and we hope that you take advantage of those opportunities that are there and really get the most out of the conference experience. David, did you have any other thoughts there?
No, thank you.
All right, well, that kind of brings us to the end of our content that we have. We'll leave it open here for a minute or so for any questions. We don't have any in the queue now. If you do have a question, you can enter that on the questions tab from your GoToMeeting browser, or you can enter a question in the chat box as well, and David and I will take an opportunity to answer that. All right, we have a question that's come in here, and the question is, how do you register for the connection session? David, do you want to take this?
So there was, in the registration, there was an opportunity to sign up as a connector or a connectee when you registered for the conference. At the same time, though, if you want to go to connections, please show up. We'll find a place for you. Even if you didn't sign up, while this might skew some of the tables and numbers a little bit, we'd rather you be connected than not be.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Samantha, for asking that question. Okay, we're not seeing any other questions come in. So with that, we will go ahead and close out the webinar, AIMHO Conference 101. This webinar has been recorded, and thanks to our awesome technology co-coordinator, Sarah Agustinelli from University of Montana, we will get this on the AIMHO YouTube page so that you can review it, or encourage anyone who was unable to attend today's webinar but is attending the conference to check that out from aimho.org. And on behalf of the association, oh, 1 second. Oh, gotcha. All right. Yeah, on behalf of the Association of Intermountain Housing Officers, again, my name's Jeff Rosenberry, and I serve as your president, and I hope that you come up and introduce yourself at the conference. David?
Yeah, please introduce yourself to me when you're at the conference. I would love to meet you. At the same time, if before the conference you have a question, please feel free to email either one of us. We can answer questions up until the conference. That's not a problem.
All right. Well, thank you all for attending, and please enjoy the rest of your lunch hour and the rest of your day. Safe travels to the conference, and we will see you in about a week.